Hi, welcome to Lifestyles, the Interesting and Infamous. I'm JoleneMaria, as always. We have Juztin Brown here, the man from Mad Cheap Piercings, because you always need somebody good to be poking you. So, why don't you tell us a little bit how you got into this in the first place?
When I was younger, we were in high school. A buddy of mine, Little Ann, he got into tattooing, ended up with some body piercing equipment. Next thing you know, another friend of mine wanted a tongue piercing, and I was like, I'll do it. So we did it. A few years later, ended up taking an apprenticeship, and just following through, and I've been doing it ever since freshman year of high school. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, aren't you a little bit afraid of, the bodily fluids and all that stuff? And a little intimidating, you could probably get HIV or something.
Well, we don't have HIV here, I hope.
We get rid of it, it's gone.
No, but you know what? Sometimes you might think about it all day with blood all day, but doctors do it.
Right,
so I can do it too.
So you're kind of like a doctor in a sense.
I wear gloves and I touch blood. That counts.
So where's one of the most crazy places that you pierced?
Your face would be one of them.
I'll show you guys that video afterwards if you stay tuned. Oh, by the way, we're going to be making some kebabs for Juztin because, I'm going to experiment with piercings as well. So, you think my face was pretty ridiculous?
That's
huh?
out there. You know what I mean? It stands out for sure.
Yep.
But name it, we do it.
How about any interesting people that you've interviewed? Anybody? Not interviewed, pierced.
We get all types of people through here. You get the high rollers, you get bums, you name it. We deal with them. We deal with everybody. You can't be in this industry if you're not going to deal with people that are a little out there.
So tell me a story about somebody who's out there. You got a few.
You can't put me on the spot like that. I mean, you'll get... I couldn't even narrow it down. Nobody specific comes to mind, but you drug addicts. you get people that are out there. We got this one girl comes in here. She calls us up. I'll call us up from the hospital. It's like, I'm in the hospital, cutting myself. I want to come there and get piercings. And she said, as soon as I get out of the hospital, I'm going to come right there. So she came in. We told her no because she was clearly mentally,
ridiculous.
A little out there. So we told her no. She brought us letters, told us how she was thinking about us in the hospital. This lady was a whack job.
How old was she?
Late 20s probably.
So she's all out of control then? She just wants to get holes in her body?
Well, that was supposed to be like her, mental medication. That's how she makes herself feel better. Instead of cutting herself, she just get a piercing, which that doesn't fly. It's not the right reason to get a piercing.
Did you say no?
Pretty much. That's what we told her.
Have you ever had to call the cops on anybody?
No, not really. Just like anywhere. If you go to CVS, you're only going to have to call the cops if somebody steps out of line. So we've been all right here.
All right, cool. So you guys have any specials that you want to tell everybody about?
We run specials this August. All piercings $35 all August. I don't know when this is going to air, when you're seeing it.
The end of that.
Yeah, end of August. Well, you missed out.
What are your regular prices?
Should've came in. Prices, it depends what you're going to get pierced. We're going to, come in and talk to me. We'll take care of you. That's why we call it Mad Cheap Piercings.
Okay, so where can I get in touch with you?
MadCheapPiercings.com, VisibleInk.com. We're right here at Visible Ink, 689 Broadway, Malden, Town Line Parking Lot next to Rain Nightclub. Come in anytime. We're here every day, 7 days a week.
And you are?
I'm Juztin Brown from Mad Cheap Piercings.
So, is there anything that you want to tell everybody about that they might not know about piercings?
It's safe. Your mom hates it. Your dad hates it. Everybody else loves it.
It's so true. I came home with my piercing. Everybody was a little bit upset, but all the people that see it on the street are like, that is amazing. I get a lot of compliments on it.
Really? It's awesome. Probably sparkles from the camera.
I hope so. What are some of the certifications you had to get to become a piercer?
Become a piercer. You got to go through a complete apprentice program. Every city is different. You got to go through CPR training, bloodborne pathogen training, first aid training. You got to take a special skin course for body artists. So there's a lot of certifications. A big, long apprenticeship you have to go through. But it's manageable. If it's something you want to do, you can do it. You just got to put your time into it, just like anything.
Right. So you're going to be doing any of the conventions or anything?
Hopefully. We'll hopefully get in there. You got to talk to them as they come one by one, but I'll definitely like to do some conventions. That'd be good news.
Right. Are you going to get any new piercings anytime soon? Or
we'll see. I have an apprentice. He's been bugging me to let me pierce him, so we'll see how that goes. Case-by-case basis.
You should let me pierce you.
No.
Fine, Justin. Whatever. So where do you want to take this? Where do you think the next route's going to be?
Well, the next route's going to be more shops, more locations throughout the area. North Shore, South Shore. Spread. Get another shop down in Florida if we can.
What do you think's like the biggest spot for tattoos and piercings?
What do you mean?
Like where, what
State-wise?
area, yeah.
Near any college, near schools where you have fresh people coming in every year, it's gonna be good. Near vacation spots, beaches, there's
People are
thousands
feeling
of
crazy.
locations. That's right. You get people where they feel good, and you'll get them.
So you don't have any like stories where a girl asked you to like pierce her butthole or anything like that?
Nothing crazy like that. You get no buttholes. No buttholes. I'm not doing it.
That's the only place you won't do it.
Not
Because
doing it.
3 holes, just in the...
It's one of the slogans. The Apprentice actually came up with that one. Because 3 holes just ain't enough.
You're talking about Mikey?
Mikey, yeah. Marshmallow Fellow. Mike Sedella. Look for him stabbing your face soon.
He will. Oh, it's too bad I don't have that footage anymore of him getting his ear pierced.
Oh, yeah? I'll do it again.
Yeah, he'll totally do it too. Steve, you want to get a piercing?
No.
He's scared.
Alright, so, I don't know, you think that, would you prefer somebody who's pierced or not pierced?
As a customer, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as a customer, I definitely rather a customer that's already been pierced because they're going to be a lot less nervous. They're going to be calm. They're just going to let you do what you got to do and get the thing done. You get the people in here real anxious. They're breathing heavy. They're real nervous. You deal with it.
You've seen a couple people pass out, I assume?
Sure. Somebody passes out every now and again. Usually that's just because they're so nervous. Their adrenaline just releases and pass out a little quick, But they're all right. We take care of them.
What about people? Did you ever have anybody puke on you or anything?
No. Never had anybody puke. No crazy bodily fluids, nothing like that.
I had somebody puke on me at a bar one time. He walked by me and he puked into his hands and it like sprayed out all over me. I was like, awesome.
It's pretty disgusting.
It was really gross. I was concerned for my health. I was like, fuck. So, working in a tattoo parlor, I mean, it's going to be adventurous every day, right?
Sure. You get all different types of people. You get a bunch of life-loving guys working here just trying to have a good life, bringing the motorcycles in, Got to get a little barbecue, some kebabs on,
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Makes for a good day.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good kebab? I mean, seriously. So, I mean, I'm surprised you're not, like, covered in tattoos at this point from just hanging out here all the time.
And, if you can't see it, it's probably covered. But I keep my forearms. You save them for a good piece someday, I'm going to put my big Jolene
Aww.
portrait right there. For everybody
At least
to
I
see.
know I'm loved. Did Anthony do any of your tattoos?
We went did a bunch of them. Did the whole arm.
Full Boston scene.
See if I can get the Red Sox Fenway Park. Did a lot of the older stuff,
Yeah, when you guys were babies, when we were all getting tattoos way before we were supposed to be.
It's when we, that's how we got started.
Yeah, it's all history now. It's crazy, right?
It is.
Who would have thought we would all be here, doing what we love? It's pretty excellent.
It's good news.
So, you haven't had any, like, scares of, like, people's parents coming in being real pissed off, have you?
No, I mean, you don't have any problems other than major, minor concerns, swelling, stuff like that, nothing. No one's parents going to come in here because mad because they all came in with them in the first place if they're under 18, so you don't really have to worry about those things. Everyone's taken care of.
Right. So, like the history of, like, tattoos and piercings and stuff, and how crazy, like, it's come from
Sure.
before. Did you know, like, back in the day, tattoos, like, there would be women who, like, listed their qualities on their arms? I wonder what my qualities would be.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. Pretty eyes, fat legs.
No.
I
Like,
can imagine.
what, like, good sex, good at cooking, like, all these things.
That's so they can get picked up at the bar, I guess. Good for
No,
them.
this was thousands of years ago, my friend.
Wow.
Before that even mattered.
News to me. News to me.
So, you have any preference on what you like to pierce the most?
No, I like to do something different. If someone comes in, they want something just a little odd, a little off the mark, Belly button sideways is better than a belly button up and down just because it's different, It's
You were
always
a little
good time.
excited when I asked you to pierce my face.
Sure, it's good, It's not as many people get them done, so it's better,
Yeah. So, what's like the next? Have you seen any changes in any of the technology not technology, but the usage of like piercing since you started? Did you notice any new?
Sure, since I started, they've redone the clamps that we use are completely different now. They're more disposable, they're better priced, needles changed, they got curved needles now, all different odd size gauges, which makes different things easier, better jewelry. So I mean, all in all, the industry in the last 10 years has come pretty far.
So has anybody ever had like any kind of major complications that you've heard of at all, like tongue piercings, not being able to feel stuff, you know what I mean?
Nothing like that. You know, sometimes you get minor numbness in your tongue for a short period of time, but never had any major issues. You know, just normal stuff, swelling and redness, and just different things.
Did you ever have to pierce somebody who was like older that you weren't like thinking they were gonna get pierced? You're like, oh wow.
The oldest person who ever pierced, I think, was like 63.
What'd she get?
She got her ears done. She got like 3 coming up her ears. But hey, good for her, you know.
What if she came in and asked if she could get like her downstairs pierced? Would you deny her?
Hey, you know, half price. We'll have a good time, whatever it is.
Is there anything about you that people don't actually know about you that you would prefer to let them know?
If they don't know about me, it's because I don't want them to know about me.
Oh,
Keep
one of
it
those
that way.
things, huh?
Sure. We don't advertise, but we don't need to advertise. You know?
So true. No, I mean like something that's interesting about you that other people might not know. That
You know, I don't have a whole. You could put me on the spot there, but I don't have much for you. I mean, I am who I am. I did my apprenticeship in Florida, which was pretty cool in 2004. You know, other than that, I don't have. I am how I am. See me how you get me.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So, is it kind of like, you know, working with family working here? You know,
Sure.
get used to it?
We're all tight family, you know, same 8-10 guys work together every day,
Mhm.
5 days a week at least, you know, close quarters, spend a lot of downtime playing video games with each other, you know, so of course it's like a little family, barbecue every day.
It's
Good
pretty
time.
sweet. It's a pretty sweet idea.
Yeah.
I like it. I kind of like hanging out here a little bit too much. I always come out with something else. I don't know, my body's modified some way whenever I leave here. I don't know, maybe today, I don't know. So, are you looking forward to anything crazy with your career or anything?
I mean, just the next step's just opening up more business, more spot, more locations, you know, it's the next step, but nothing too crazy, you know.
Well, you have
just-
an apprentice under you now. Did you ever think you were going to get to that point?
No, to be honest, I didn't think it would really get there, or I just never thought that far ahead. Not that I didn't think it would, but I didn't see it, you know,
Yeah.
until it was here. Now it's here, that's good, you know, we'll get him up and running, put him in another location, make it so I can have a day off, you know.
Mhm.
It'll be cool, But
That's
he's a
good.
whiles away, you know, he's just starting, so definitely cool.
Yeah, who would have thought when you were 16, you were just poking people for the fun of it, that you would actually make a lucrative career out of it?
Yeah, who would have thought The Apprentice would be Dub C?
Seriously. No, it's funny because we're all like, we've all known each other and you guys all work together. One day I'll get in here.
It's the dream.
Mm-hmm. Living the dream. Any cool experiences you've had since working here that like were irreplaceable? You guys go on vacations or anything together?
No, I mean, the best thing about here is our remote control helicopters in our downtime. Doesn't get much
I
more
haven't
exciting than
seen
that.
it.
Oh, we got them. Play our own little version of horse. Call it something different, which I won't tell you what it is.
So what about tipping though? You're supposed to tip your piercer, your tattoo artist? Like what's the deal with that?
Hey, I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody to tip me, but it hurts more for your friends when you don't. So, that's the way it is. You know, generally you get a little bit of tip, but we're not like in the Bahamas. You go to the Bahamas and like, you better tip me. You tip me good. We don't
do that there?
here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's free. Just tip me. I tell you. But no, you know, typically you get a tip, usually.
Yeah, so it's because it's one of those things that people don't really know. I mean, like, even serving, a lot of people don't know that you're supposed to tip. You know
Well,
what I
people
mean?
rely on it. That's what they live on. So, tip good, get tipped good, you know.
Service
and it hurts
industry.
less. Treat me good.
Or else he's just going to rip your face off. I'm just kidding. He's not abusive. Only if you want him to be. Come on.
Purely speculation.
Exactly. So, I mean, how many piercings would you suggest a person gets at a time?
I mean, realistically, you don't really want to get more than maybe 2 at a time. You space it out. You don't want to put your body through too much trauma at a time. They all try to heal at the same time. Your body's blood cells go in a million different directions. So 1 or 2 at a time is best, and then if you want more, you just come back a little later on.
And is it true that you probably shouldn't if you've been drinking?
Well, it can thin out your blood a little bit, make you lightheaded, so you definitely want to be sober, have a full stomach when you come in anytime.
Just so they can puke all over you?
so you don't puke all over me.
Oh, so what's the lifestyle that you live that's different from, you know, another person that doesn't do piercings on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the industry definitely brings its own little lifestyle. You know, first things first, I don't have to set an alarm in the morning. You know, I can sleep through my mornings. That's good because we work with a lot of appointments, so it allows you to, you know, kind of do the things you need to do. If you need to go somewhere in the middle of the day, you just make it so you can. You need a day off, you'll take the day off. You know, but it's different when you're answering to yourself. It's you know, answering to a boss, it's different. If you got to say no to a boss and go on throughout your day, you know, it's no big deal. But when I don't come in here for a day, you know, the only person that's paying the price is me. So when you answer yourself, it means a lot more. But just independence, you know, do the things you need to do in life and allow you to work too. My motto is we work to live, we don't live to work. So it allows me to do that.
Very true. So do you have any like inspirations that you took from anywhere? Like any, you know, gurus you have maybe to have this kind of lifestyle?
Just my buddy Little Ant does the tattoos here. One of the guys does the tattoos here, man. I saw him taking off the tattoos, doing the parties, and, you know, making money. And it's the only job where I could see someone show up late and everyone's still happy to see you. So that was, you know, I said I need in on that.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy. He's got a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in this place right now. So we're are they opening other locations here? Are they thinking about opening up like on the West Coast or what?
That's classified information at this point.
Oh, okay. Don't worry, we can edit that out. So do you have a lot of fun working here?
We have a blast. We have a lot of fun. You know, for the most part, you get some weirdos, but you get people you can get along with come in here. Customers aren't so uptight. You know, everyone's looking to come in here to have a good day. You know, and tattoo artists, everyone's here is doing what they love. I'm doing what I love, so nobody's in a bad mood ever.
Right.
Come in, have a good time, good life.
All right. So now we're gonna get a guided tour from Justin of his toolbox and what happens when he uses and all that good stuff. It's all you, Justin.
Just some basic things to use. Bottom drawer looks kind of like a doctor's office, a dentist's office, something. There's different clamps for different types of piercings, surface anchors, stuff like that. You hold different parts of the body with different things, you know. So a couple different clamps. Lots of tools in case you got a busy day. Got to be able to go through this stuff a lot, you know. With these clamps right here, these are to open up a hoop. Got to spread it up wider. Same thing, got clamps that make hoops smaller. I can grab your nose, I can grab your tongue, I can grab your belly button, you know. If you need it, I'll grab it. Fun stuff. Step a drawer up. We've got a bunch of different options for jewelry, you know, your hoops, your barbells, your studs, all different types of things. Regular earrings, you want to bring your 1-year-old daughter in to get her first earlobes done. Yeah, we can do that. Do all the good stuff. And the rest of the tools pretty much come up in here. Got to clean the skin before you do it. You got some alcohol pads, corks, so I don't stab myself when I go through the skin with the needle. All your different types of needles. I'll show you these. These ones are pretty cool. These are curved needles. That's for doing tough spots like your tragus in the ear, stuff like that. This is something new. Hasn't been around forever. All different size needles for different types of piercings. Right here we have, these are biopsy punches to use for the microdermals, like what's on Jolene's face. This little dermal punch anchor right there. You put the hole in the skin, then you put the dermal anchor in afterwards. You know, that's pretty much all it takes for tools. You know, is your needle, your cork, your cleaning utensils, and your jewelry. That's all you need.
And you use them all just once, right?
Everything is clean, sterile. Needles one time's use, you know, good stuff. Jewelry's never reused, obviously. All types of fun options for that person who wants the pretty balls in your belly button. You can get pretty balls in your belly button. That's how we do it. Get it where you want it. That's the slogan we're running with, and it works. That's pretty much it as far as usable utensils in this thing. Everything else is just storage and junk.
What is this like representing you?
Sure, we just got stickers, you know, you run in the New Red Comics, you see a Red Sox sticker, you want it. You make a new sticker of your own, you want it, you know. So, it's all up there. It's little cool stuff. Little Ant Tattoos is the guy that got me into the industry. He works here at Visible Ink. Call him anytime. You see the phone number, I know you do.
Alright, so stay tuned for all the delicious food that we're going to be making, because I'm going to be stabbing some meats. And it's going to be delicious.
Eat it, kid.
Yeah, I'm going to grill that. So So I hope you stay tuned, and thank you, Justin, for being on the show.
Thanks, Jolene, for having me.
Lifestyles, the interesting and infamous, loves you.
We appreciate it. Magic Piercings loves you.
All right, cool. So, if you ever need any piercings, want to get a hole in your face or something like that, let them know. All right, thanks. Welcome to the Lifestyles of the Interesting and Infamous Kitchen. So today, we're going to be piercing some shrimp, because we did just see that interview with Justin. Now, if you want to get pierced, feel free to go see him. He'd love to poke you, but we're going to poke some shrimp today. So let's get started. I got a couple of 25, 30 count shrimp, which means that in each pound there's probably 25 to 30 shrimp. So U20, in case you didn't know that. So if you get U13, there's 13 shrimp in that. So the smaller the number, the bigger the shrimp. All right, so now we've got these ones. They're jumbo shrimp. They're not quite as big as the biggest shrimp you can get, but they're pretty big. So we got the deveined ones, which means that we don't have to worry about scoring them and taking out the nasty vein that's usually right here. We just have to pull their little legs off. And since we're going to be dredging these in flour, and we're going to probably want to just bite them, we're going to take the whole entire tail off too. It's not as pretty, but it's better for eating. Let's start with what our kebabs are going to be made out of. First, we're going to need some shrimp. And to coat those shrimp, we're going to need some flour, some eggs, and then we're going to mix up a little bit of breadcrumb with some shredded coconut to make our coconut shrimp. Then, of course, we have pineapple. I got pre-cut just because it's a lot easier for me, but if you feel like using fresh, you are always more than welcome to. Then we're going to need a little bit of red onion to throw a little bit of vegetable in there and to get a little bit more flavor. So for our dip, for our pineapple and coconut shrimp skewers, we are going to use some Greek yogurt, some limes, and some jalapeno. All right, so we're going to start with our skewers. We're using metal skewers, some funky ones my mom got me. I mean, I put this through my nose. It'll look good. Anyways, just kidding. I'm going to pierce some shrimp, not my nose. All right, so we're going to be using metal skewers, so you have to remember that metal's obviously going to direct some heat, so it's going to cook from the outside and the inside out. So if you're using wood, remember to soak them in water just so they don't burn, and remember that they're not going to conduct any heat, so you're not going to have to worry about them cooking twice as fast. But with metal, they are. So we're just going to coat our pan with a little bit of cooking spray just so our skewers don't stick when they're under the broiler. The first thing we're going to want to do is cut up our onions so that we can have it ready for when we start assembling our skewers. Just cutting off the tops because we're not going to need those. Then I'm going to cut it in half and take out the outer layer because nobody wants to eat the skin of an onion. So we're going to cut half a red onion into quarters so that they'll be nice and a good size for when we put them on the skewers. Now we're going to start assembling this stuff. Okay, so we're going to mix almost equal parts of the shredded coconut and the breadcrumbs, but you're probably going to want a little bit more breadcrumb than coconut. Coconut has a lot of flavor, and this is actually sweetened flaked coconut. You can always get unsweetened if you want, but we're going to use sweetened just because it's going to taste a little bit better. And now we're going to break our eggs. For our shrimp stations, we're going to set it up like so. We're going to go in order from flour to egg to coconut. So now we have our shrimps nicely coated in flour. Put them in the egg, then from the egg to the coconut. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be assembling our skewers right now. What we're going to do is alternate between red onion, coconut shrimp, and pineapple. Now that we have our skewers all assembled, we're just going to put them under the broiler for about 4 minutes, but you got to make sure you watch them because they can cook really quickly. so we're gonna make our dip really quickly while we're waiting for that in the oven. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Greek yogurt, put it into a bowl. Now to cut that, we're gonna take a lime, we're gonna roll it out so that when we cut it, you can get some juice out of it. But first, before we decide to cut this, we're gonna get a little bit of zest out of it. Not only is zesting it gonna give it flavor, but it's also gonna give it little green specks that are gonna be so adorable. I know you're not gonna care if your food's adorable, but it's gonna look beautiful. So what we're gonna do, take our jalapeno and cut the top off of it and slice it down the middle. Now be very careful for after you touch this jalapeno, don't touch your eyes or face because it will burn. So remember that you are touching a jalapeno. Don't want anything to happen. That'd be horrible. So we're gonna take out the rib and the seeds because that's where all the heat comes from. So we're just gonna chop these up into little itty bitty pieces so that you get a little bit of heat in there. Not too much, not too little. I think about a tablespoon of jalapeno would be good. Now that we've got that, we're gonna cut our limes. Squeeze those in there. And we're gonna mix and mingle it all together and hope for a really delicious flavor. Perfect. Use a little bit of salt and pepper. Ooh, the spice is so good. All right. So now we get a golden brown. You can see how they turn pink a little bit, then you know they're done. Okay, so I know you might not really want to get a piercing in your face or anywhere in your body, but that's cool because you can still pierce some shrimp and still feel the delicious benefits of it. And remember, if you're allergic to shrimp, like our good friend Kim and Steve, then you can always use chicken, but use the exact same methods, just chicken as opposed to shrimp, or tofu, whatever you want to do. I just like to give you options. So remember, be a little bit risky and start piercing some food. You'll really, really like what comes out of it. And from everybody here at Lifestyles of the Interesting and Infamous, have a deliciously interesting day.